everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please by you. What is your name? Where are you watching from? I really want to meet you. And how do you find my video? If you are new here, don't forget to introduce yourself. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much. Hey, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining in. Today, we're going to be continuing with how to set an effective goal. Yes, how to, set goals for yourself effectively this time around. I know I discussed this same topic about 2 months ago, but I want to really talk about certain things that we need to, take note of if we talk about if we're really serious about setting our goals. So please go ahead and introduce yourself. If you're watching the live, please type live in the comments. And if you are watching the replay, kindly type replay in the comments. So without further ado, let's just get right into today's business. Yes, we're talking about goal setting. How do we go about it? But first thing I want you to note is expectations, the things that you should expect when you set your goals, when you're really serious about, making sure that, the goals that you set for yourself are actually happening finally. I know for a lot of people, you've written down a lot of goals, but you've not been able to actualize any of the goals that you've written down. So today I'm going to help you tackle, we're also going to learn from one another. I wanted to also share some of the tips and strategies that you have used that helped you, achieve your goals in the comments. So first thing I want to talk about is your mindset and your expectations. Sometimes we say these things. I mean, it goes beyond wishful thinking. First thing I want you to know is that there are going to be obstacles. You can even be in your own way, when it comes to achieving your goals. Maybe when it's time to do those things that you've set your mind to do, you might find yourself saying, why do I even want to do this thing? Why can't I just go and take a break? Have you been in situations where you're like, why should I be the one doing this thing? Why can't somebody else? Why am I even chosen in the first place? And these are things, especially as content creators, these are things that sometimes we struggle with. We're like, why can't I just go and chill? And everybody else is chilling. Why should I be the one shooting videos? Why should I be the one doing this and doing that? So first thing I want you to know is just set the right expectations for yourself. Expect that you're gonna have obstacles. Expect that things are not gonna be as smooth as you think. Yes, things are not going to be as smooth as you think in the beginning, but you need to prepare yourself mentally for how to tackle those issues when you start seeing those signs, when you start seeing those negativity, when you start seeing things that don't encourage you, things that don't inspire you, the kind of results that you're not expecting, or the kind of challenges that you find yourself having to face when you set these goals for yourself. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. So please sit back, relax, and introduce yourself if you have not. And I'm also going to be sharing with you a free download at the end of this session. So make sure that you watch all the way till the end. So yes, how do we actually create that action plan for ourselves? How do we really do it? First thing the next thing you need to do is to make that goal concrete. Make it concrete by giving it a timeline. And when I say timeline, I also, go in depth regarding this timeline thing. You have to get to the point where, for me, I'm just using myself as an example. You have to get to the point where you sing this song, literally, not necessarily this particular song, but for me, it is, I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. Now, you must get to the point where there is no turning back. How? How do you use that, to achieve your goals? By setting a deadline. Yes, for you to achieve your goals. By signing up for something, by enrolling into something, such that when that thing on that day, because if you don't have a date in mind, you're just playing. It's just wishful thinking. You're not setting goals. You're not there to achieve any goal. So you need to have a date that helps you say these words, that there's no turning back. And I'll give you an example. I signed up for an exhibition, which was last week. And on Thursday, Juneteenth actually, and on Thursday, honestly, in the morning, I was like, can't I just sleep for the whole of today? But because I'd already signed up, I'd already registered, there is no turning back. You have to get to that point. It means investing. If it means hiring a coach and knowing that you have to be accountable to this person, you can't afford to, miss out, you can't afford to fail. So invest. If it means, yes, so my sister, no turning back. If it means investing in a coach, if it means setting a date, and I'll also give you an example. If you want to go to the spa, you can tell yourself, oh, I'm going for a massage next week. But if you don't book and they don't take that money from your bank accounts, and I'm speaking for myself, if they don't take that money from your bank accounts, you're most likely going to shift it. So many things are going to happen. And it has happened to me even in recent times. I actually went on the website to book. I used the one really close to me and they're really very good. I went to the website and for whatever reasons I was unable to book that particular day. And I was like, okay, I have to go in person. I have to go into the spa and book and then, schedule my own time. But I didn't get the time to do it. Now, if I had already booked on their website, but like I said, I had issues, on their websites. There were issues that I just couldn't book at the time. And I hope it's been rectified now. So the moment I make payment, I know there's no turning back. They will not refund my money. So there's nothing I can do about it. That is exactly where you need to get to. So when you set your goals, maybe you should invest in something that you know that there's no turning back on this one. Once you resigned on or you rescind on it, you are the one that is going to lose out at the end of the day. For sure that you will be losing out. And that you've gotten to that point where you don't have a choice, you just have to do it. For some people, it might just mean, adding it into their calendar, adding that, schedule, putting that schedule into their calendar to make it happen. These days I schedule everything down to my leisure. I schedule everything. I put it on my calendar. If you invite me to anything tomorrow, next week, I'm like, please let me check my calendar. Let me check. And I hope that, okay, I have some, little allowances that can accommodate what you're inviting me for or where you're inviting me to. So you need to also cultivate the habit of utilizing a calendar. And I'm also going to be putting a template, in the chats. I'm still working on it right now. Once it's ready, I'm going to put it in the chat. It's templates that will help you to set your goals, all kinds of goals, your career goals, your business goals, spiritual goals, all kinds of goals. Yes, personal goals, finance goals, as well as your health goals. So I will be putting it in the chat once I am ready. I'll put it in the chat once I am ready. So you have to, be in that, make sure that you are at that point where you are able to, get that thing done regardless. And that's why I said, if it means hiring a coach, if it means paying for something, if it means signing up for something where you cannot say, I'm turning back, there's no turning back. It's like securing admission. And you know that, okay, now that you've secured admission, you want to get your degree in 2 years, in 4 years, depending on your goals. You know that you have to attend lectures. You have to, so you have to actually make your goals really, really concrete by writing it down and making sure that you follow through to the letter. And now you need to also identify the requirements. What are the requirements? Maybe you have a lofty goal, you have something really big, really enormous. And sometimes, I'm speaking for myself, I have a deliverable, which is due on Wednesday. And I had it for two weeks at a stretch. I am someone that works very well under pressure. And I have been very busy and booked like back to back. And I know for sure Wednesday is coming. I have to show up. I have to get it done. And because that's why dates are very important. Timelines are very important. Deadlines are very important. You need to set deadlines for yourself. You need to have a timeline to achieve certain things. Now we're about to enter into the second half of the year, 2025. And there are people, I'm sure but there are people who have set goals, who said they were going to achieve X and Y. They're going to do X and Y in 2025. The moment we enter 2025, and this is the second half of the year. And of course, they're still chewing on it. They're still chewing on this, goal. Hey, Jesus. God forbid, and they're still kind of like chewing on it, so this is something that you need to really, really be mindful about. Set a timeline for yourself to achieve certain things. Like I said, last Thursday was the event, and in the morning I didn't feel like, when you set goals, when it comes to achieving those things that you really want to achieve, then there's no excuse. There's no story. There's no turning back. There's no, oh, I don't feel like, I don't, you have to make sure that you actually get it done. Now, set aside time. You don't just keep going like, okay, things are gonna be, it's gonna be so easy and smooth. No, it's not always gonna be easy. Like I said in the beginning, you need to set your expectations right. Set aside time. Yes, I mean, planning, it's as good as planning ahead of time. So set some time aside to do those things that you truly want to do. So if you want to, it's just an example, you want to start a YouTube channel, when do you, what day or what date are you planning to upload your very first video? It's just an example, or you want to start a business, what day or what date are you planning to launch this business? Is it 1 month from now? Is it 2 weeks from now? Do you even have a date that has been set? So you have to make sure that you are actually, detailed to the last letter. You have to be detailed and then personalize your approach. Something, what works for A may not work for B. So personalize your approach. I mean, depending on your personality or your schedule, you can come up with strategies that would help you to achieve your goal from where you are, that will meet you from where you are to where you actually want to be. So yes, you need to personalize your approach. Like I said, what works for A may not work for B. Now you also need to find motivation. Motivation. What is something that inspires you? For me, what motivates me is the mental picture, a mental picture of my desired future, of my desired outcome. So I'll give an assumption of, maybe I'm trying to lose weight. Maybe right now I'm even trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. Don't worry, I'll not disappear. I'm not fat, but I need to still lose weight. So my motivation is seeing myself in my desired look, in my desired outcome. So that's something that you need to also put into consideration when you see. And it's like you're planning to maybe invest in certain things. You want to start this particular business. Imagine yourself as a successful mogul. Imagine yourself that you're really successful in that thing that you want to do. That should push you to continue to work towards achieving your goal. So make that, maybe you should find your motivation in that. And don't forget to celebrate every little win that you have. Yes, don't forget to celebrate every tiny bit of successes that you encounter along the way. Don't say, oh, it's not big enough, oh, I don't even think I've done enough. I mean, a lot of times we beat ourselves way too much. We're so hard on ourselves. But yes, you can actually get things done, but celebrate the little gains, the little wins that you've encountered along the way. Don't wait until it's really big before you can see. Even if it's just one semester that you finished, that you've completed out of maybe 8 semesters, you've completed one semester, reward yourself, celebrate yourself. Let's just be motivated by what you have done so far. And then you need to, don't forget to also break down your goal into actionable steps. Break it down. You can create your goal templates for yourself, and you can choose various platforms or a particular platform that would help you to achieve that goal. Yes, so you need to also ask yourself some questions when it comes to setting your goals and achieving them. Sometimes you have to really dive deep into it. Write down every tiny little detail. Like, will this goal make me money? I mean, it's up to you to determine what is most important for you to achieve in the nearest future, which is number one, the most important thing that you're working on, the most important goal that you want to achieve. I mean, it could go down to asking yourself, is it going to make money for me? Or will it cost me money? Or do I need to learn something? When it comes to learning something, do I need to take a course, or do I need to have a coach, or do I need to hire a mentor? Or what are the things that you need to do to make it work? Now, like I said earlier, I have a deliverable on Wednesday, and I know for sure, like, I'm going to be writing something that looks like a thesis. So I need time to actually come up with those, with all of my deliverables before Wednesday. So it means that I probably need to learn something. Is it going to make money for me? Yes, in the long run. Will it cost money? It's not going to cost money, really. I think I have all the resources that I need. I think I have all the resources that I need. Now, you need to also set milestones for yourself. Yeah, set dates and milestones for yourself, so that when you know, when you accomplish just one of them, you celebrate every single win for yourself. And stop setting unrealistic timelines for yourself. Stop setting unrealistic timelines. Be realistic, be real. Do things, do things, expect things that are likely, not things that are unlikely gonna happen. So ask yourself, like I said, do you need a mentor, or is collaboration required? Maybe you need to, rub minds with someone else that is more knowledgeable than you, or someone that is already where you are aiming to go. Maybe you need to get into contacts with them, reach out to them for help, for advices, for mentorship, for advice. I said advice is, I'm sorry about that. For advice, for mentorship. Who else is involved? Does it involve a third party? Do you need someone else to look at it, maybe to proofread this thing? Is this something that, only you can look at and it's okay? Or do you need someone else, a third eye, to take a look at it? And you need to be honest about what resources or the people that you also need. Then you also need to choose the right tools. You need to choose the right tools to manage your plans. Sometimes, all you need is just a calendar. And sometimes you need more than a calendar. You need a template that would help you to stay consistent with all of your goals. I was listening to someone, this morning, and she was saying something like, oh, that she's able to work out 2 hours every day, which is similar to what I do. She's able to work out 2 hours every day. She's able to, manage her several businesses. She has a team that she handles, that she, leads. She has a team that she leads, and she also gets 8 hours of sleep every day, and she also gets to do X and Y and Z. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And then she said, she actually had to use templates. She had to use, there were tools that actually helped, and that helps her, that still helps her to get these things done. Because honestly, you need to have a plan, you need to have a strategy, and not just a strategy, but you need a strategy that actually works. And sometimes you need some low effort options. Yeah, there are some options that are like so easy, like using your notebook. But the problem with notebook is that you now have a lot of notes that you have to sift through. And I think that's one of the little tiny issues that I have with notebook, because I have like, I don't know, like thousands of things. So what I need to do now is go to my notebook and check out the ones that I've done out of all of them and start deleting them. Start deleting them. And for some people, they don't mind printable templates. For people who like to, they want to see their handwriting. I call those people handwriting lovers. And for some people, you might need an app or a something like a CRM, right, that helps you to achieve your goals. And for some people, you need higher effort tools, right? Some people need maybe calendar apps, really. I use Google Calendar, which is the bare minimum. I use calendar app, but you also need not to get lost in the tools. Don't get lost in the tools. Some people just feel that, okay, I have this tool. They're so heavily reliant on the tools, but it's not the tools, really. It is you. You are the one that will end up doing the work. So start with the foundation. Start with the foundation. Start with one thing, and if it's able to help you achieve your goals, then you can stick with it. For me, I start every year with a plan and I build it as I go. And sometimes you don't need to have it all figured out, but you need to get started, because once you start, you're so right, Sarah. You're right. She said, write it down, make it plain. Yes, make it plain. I tell you, because sometimes writing it down and getting started is the most important thing that you can do for yourself. So just get started. Take that first leap of faith. Take that first huge giant step first, and then we can talk about the rest. Because sometimes we have a lot of wishful thinkers. I've seen a lot of wishful thinkers. People who say, I will do X and Y and Z, and they've been saying the same thing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Nothing has been done. No step has been taken. No finger has been lifted. They've not lifted a finger. They've not done anything regarding these lofty goals that they have. And like I said, it all starts with you. Beyond the tools, beyond writing down the goals, beyond making it plain and simple, you have to actually take that bold step to get it started. And you don't have to be great to start. You don't have to have it all perfectly figured out in the beginning. I was fortunate to listen to Mark Zuckerberg when he started Facebook. And he said he was even looking for, he was hoping that he will have maybe like 500 users, to 500 to 700 users. And now he has billions of users every month. He has billions of users, Facebook users, every single month. So like I said, when he started, he was thinking, oh, just 500 is okay. But as they started, they built on it, and they continued to improve on the previous version. So maybe you need to start small, maybe you need to just get started. That's how to actually make sure that you're making effective action plans. So get started. Like I said, you don't have to have it all figured out before you start. Just start. Starting may be the biggest and the most important first step that you need to take, is getting started at all. And it's okay to build and plan, as you go. It's okay to plan. It's okay to build, to, improve upon what you have done before as you go. And yes, you also need to know exactly what you want to achieve with those goals. You need to know, and it doesn't have to do with what X is doing or what Y is doing. It has to do with what you are really doing, what you really want for yourself. And that's one thing I really want you to take away from today's episode. You need to actually write down what you want for yourself and get things done, get things moving, get things kicking. And sometimes that picture that you have, that you're thinking that, okay, I'm going to start this business and I'm going to do this on Monday, I'll do this on Tuesday, and then these things are going to happen once I do this. Sometimes you should lower your expectations, because sometimes the results don't come in as fast as we want. The results don't come in as easy as we want in most cases. And even if those results don't come in now, just remind yourself, have it at the back of your mind that it's coming. It is coming. Those results are coming. Just stay consistent. I mean, for me, if you look at someone like me, you might be like, what is even motivating her? You have to stay consistent. We are heading somewhere. And as long as you have your goals, you already know where you're going. It doesn't matter what you're seeing in front of you. It doesn't matter if what you're seeing doesn't look like what you're expecting, or what, the mental picture of what you already have in mind. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you are not giving up on yourself. The most important thing is that you're getting something done. You're getting things done, and you're working on yourself each single day. So do you have your goals written down? If you don't have your goals written down, maybe you should start with the low effort, strategy today. Write them down. Make it plain, just like Sarah Donald said in the comments. Make it plain, make it simple, and then go with it. Follow through with your plan. See, you have to have a high level of faith. I call it a high level of faith. You need to have a high level of faith, especially as a business owner. You need to have a great level of confidence in what you do, a high level of confidence in yourself, because it may look like you're working so hard, you're working tirelessly, you're not seeing the results now. The results will come. It's just a matter of time. Great things take time, good things take time, and good things come to those who wait. Sometimes you may want to think, not small, hey, my sister, not small faith, not small faith. I'm telling you, you have to still keep showing up. I had an exhibition last Thursday, and honestly, and that's one thing, I always say this, I say, blessed are those who expect nothing, for they shall never be disappointed. I wasn't expecting anything. I was only expecting to showcase my brand. But I had a great, outstanding, massive turnout, at the event. And I was able to make sales. I was able to, add a lot of people, a good number of people into my email list just from that one event. And guess what? I went there without any expectation, without any form of expectation. But for sure it's going to happen. It's going to happen in the end. If it is not okay, it is not the end. That's something I say all the time. If it is not okay yet, trust me, it is not the end. So as a business owner, especially, you need to have a high level, like the faith is borderline craziness. If you're a business owner, I'm sure you can testify to what I'm saying. Like, it's borderline crazy. You have to believe in yourself to the point where you're gonna look crazy. People don't need to believe in you, and that's a place where a lot of people need to get to. People don't need to believe in you. People who don't believe you are simply projecting themselves on you, and those people don't matter to you. People who don't believe in you are projecting themselves onto you. You need to believe in yourself, regardless of where you are right now, regardless of what you're seeing in front of you. Believe in yourself. There's a reason why you have the skills that you have. There's a reason why you have the offers that you have, the products or the services that you are offering to the world. And there's a reason why God put all of those gifts inside of you. And there's a reason why you even conceived the business in the first place. And because you were able to do that, there are going to be a lot of obstacles, but I promise you, it is going to be well worth it in the end. But just don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't even allow naysayers around you. Like, and for me, the more people say, the more people don't believe in me, the more inspired I get, the more gendered I get. Because why? Their opinions don't matter. Their opinion, I don't care about those kind of people. Their opinions, like I said, they're only projecting their own failures on me. And they are not me. I am not them. So you need to always remind yourself, remember, just stay focused on your goals. You need to really focus and keep your eye on the prize. You know where you're going, and you never know who you're going to be meeting the next minute that is going to change the trajectory of your business around. They will turn your life around. So if you're a business owner and you struggle with taking actions, or you're planning to go into business, you struggle with starting in the first place, don't worry about it. Just make sure that, write your goals down. Write it down, break it down into tiny little chunks that you can achieve daily, on a daily basis, or even on a weekly basis, and then follow through every single one of them. Don't go to the next one until you finish with the first one. That's how people get things muddled up. They try to attack all of them at the same time. No, you can't do that. You end up catching, it's like trying to catch 10 birds at the same time, and you end up catching nothing. But if you aim at one, there are 10 birds, but you aim very well at one, you're very likely going to catch that one, as opposed to trying to catch all the 10 at the same time and then losing everything, which makes no sense. So guess what? Write down your goals, then follow each of them, one after the other. If you don't finish with one, don't go to the next one. If you don't finish with the next one, don't go to the third one. If you don't finish with the third one, don't go to the fourth one. That is how to achieve your goals. A lot of times we are distracted. A lot of times we want to do a lot of things. A lot of times our head, is probably spinning and, trying to do a lot. It's like going to the gym and you want to lift weights and you want to do treadmill at the same time, and you want to also, you can't do all of them. You have to do it one by one. You have to do it one, but that's how you achieve your goals. So if you're someone that your brain is cluttered, you have way too many things going on in your head, you need to just calm down and start with one. When you're done with one, you move to the next one. When you're done with the next one, then you can move to the third one. That's how it's as simple. It sounds so simple, but when in reality, a lot of times we find ourselves doing just way too many things at the same time. So we have to be very, very mindful so that we don't end up spoiling everything by ourselves. So please take note of that. Like I said, write down your goals. Write down those things that you want to achieve. Write down those hefty goals that you really want to achieve. Then if it means breaking it down, each of them, into tiny little bits, go ahead and do that. Why? Because this will help you get accountable. You're able to measure your progress. You're able to measure whether you're hitting one milestone or the other. Like I said, once you hit one milestone, no matter how tiny it is, it calls for celebration. Always celebrate. There's no small win. Every win is a big win. A lot of times we compare ourselves with other people. We think, oh, this person is doing way better. That person's journey is not your journey. You are unique, and your journey is as well. So please make sure that as you progress, acknowledge your own successes, and the work that it has taken you to actually get there. Because when you celebrate, it not only gives you the credit that you've earned, it's also a reminder for you that you have the the capacity to achieve your goals, no matter where you are in the process. So when you celebrate your wins, you know that you have like, did I really do this? It helps you, it reminds you that you have that, you have the capability of achieving your goals. And sometimes we may need a social commitment. We may need, I'm not saying social validation, no, commitment. And I've seen this happen times and times and times again. There was a guy I listened to, and he said, I met him on TikTok, and he said that he, in the next 5 years thereabout, he's gonna own several real estates, companies, properties. And was that today he made a video. He said, but as that today, him and his friend, they're going somewhere, but they don't have transport fare. I'm telling you. And as at the time that he was recording, sharing that video, he was quite young. So you could tell that this is real. So he made a social commitment. He made it public that I'm promising myself, I'm making this video that for the next 5 years, I'm going to achieve X and Y. Sometimes, these things actually help you in the long run. You may do that. And because you've done that, it's called social commitments. When you do that, you know that, this one that I've got the world that I'm going to be doing, I will achieve X and Y in the next 5 years. You find yourself working towards it. It may not, work for everyone, but guess what? Having social accountability is very helpful, and it also helps support us in, tough moments. It supports us when we're working towards our goals. Even when we want to give up on ourselves, the fact that we have made it public, we know that it is too late to fail. Then, because of that, you're able to follow through to your dreams and to your journey to success. And I hope that with these few points of mine, I have been able to convince you and not confuse you that you can actually set actionable goals and be on your way to hitting every single goal of yours. Yes. And at this point, I want to say thank you once again. Thank you so much for watching all the way. If you have any topic for me, please leave it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to, talk about these topics on your behalf. Thank you once again. As for my dress, I made this dress yesterday. I actually made 3 of these yesterday. I'm telling you, like, I work like that. So if you are interested in getting your outfits made, just send an email to ceo@chassiseverything.com. Thank you all so much once again. I appreciate you, Sir Donald. God bless you. I'll see you guys next week. Take care and bye for now.